Hey, what's up, everybody? I'd just like to read a chapter from this book that I'm on here. It's the Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly Hall. And I like to read these for people because I feel like there's a lot of interesting occult knowledge and literature and videos and such, but it seems like a majority of them cater to people who already know certain aspects, and the ones that do break it down for you tend to be really long. So I just wanted to read this little chapter in here about animals because I find it's a useful one for people of, I don't know, of any point in life who's interested in ancient knowledge. So it's called Animals. The lion is the king of the animal family and, like the head of each kingdom, is sacred to the sun, whose rays are symbolized by the lion's shaggy mane. The allegories perpetuated by the mysteries, such as the one to effect that the lion opens the secret book, signify that the solar power opens the seed pods, releasing the spiritual life within. There was also a curious belief among the ancients that the lion sleeps with his eyes open, and for this reason the animal was chosen as a symbol of vigilance. The figure of a lion placed on either side of doors and gateways is an emblem of divine guardianship. King Solomon was often symbolized as a lion. For ages, the feline family has been regarded with peculiar veneration. In several of the mysteries, most notably the Egyptian, the priests wore the skins of lions, tigers, panthers, pumas, or leopards. Hercules and Samson, both solar symbols, slew the lion of the constellation Leo and robed themselves in his skin, thus signifying that they represented the sun itself when at the summit of the celestial arch. At Bubastis in Egypt was the temple of the famous goddess Bast, the cat deity of the Ptolemies. The Egyptians paid homage to the cat, especially when its fur was 3 shades or its eyes of different colors. To the priests, the cat was symbolic of the magnetic forces of nature, and they surrounded themselves with these animals for the sake of the astral fire which emanated from their bodies. The cat was also a symbol of eternity, for when it sleeps, it curls up into a ball with its head and tail touching. Among the Greeks and Latins, the cat was sacred to the goddess Diana. The Buddhists of India invested the cat with special significance, but for a different reason. The cat was the only animal absent at the death of the great Buddha, because it had stopped on the way to chase a mouse. That the symbol of the lower astral forces should not be present at the liberation of the Buddha is significant. Regarding the cat, Herodotus says, "Whenever a fire breaks out, cats are agitated with a kind of divine motion, which they that keep them observe, neglecting the fire. The cats, however, in spite of their care, break from them, leaping, even over the heads of their keepers, to throw themselves into the fire. The Egyptians then make great mourning for their death. If a cat dies a natural death in a house, all they of that house shave their eyebrows. If a dog, they shave the head and all the body. They used to embalm their dead cats and carry them to the Bubastis to be interred in a sacred house." Some interesting stuff. The most important of all symbolic animals was the apis, or Egyptian bull of Memphis, which was regarded as the sacred vehicle for the transmigration of the soul of the god Osiris. It was declared that the apis was conceived by a bolt of lightning, and the ceremony attendant upon its selection and consecration was one of the most impressive in Egyptian ritualism. The apis had to be marked in a certain manner. Herodotus states that the bull must be black with a square white spot on its forehead, the form of an eagle, probably a vulture, on his back, a beetle under his tongue, and the hair of his tail lying in 2 ways. Other writers declare that the sacred bull was marked with 29 sacred symbols. His body was spotted, and upon his right side was a white mark in the form of a crescent. After its sanctification, the apis was kept in a stable adjacent to the temple and led in processionals through the streets of the city upon certain solemn occasions. It was a popular belief among the Egyptians that any child upon whom the bull breathed would become illustrious. After reaching a certain age, 25 years, the apis was taken either to the river Nile or to a sacred fountain. Authorities differ on this point. And and drowned amidst the lamentations of the populace. The mourning and wailing for his death continued until the new Apis was found, when it was declared that Osiris had reincarnated, whereupon rejoicing took the place of grief. The worship of the bull was not confined to Egypt, but was prevalent in many nations of the ancient world. In India, Nandi, the sacred white bull of Siva, is still the object of much veneration, and both Persians and the Jews accepted the bull as an important religious symbol. The Assyrians, Phoenicians, Chaldeans, and even the Greeks reverenced this animal, and Jupiter turned himself into a white bull to abduct Europa. The bull was a powerful phallic emblem signifying the paternal creative power of the demigod. At his death, he was frequently mummified and buried with the pomp of dignity in a god's specially prepared sarcophagus. Excavations in the Serapeum of Memphis have uncovered the tombs of more than 60 of these sacred animals. So, I could go on, and this chapter just goes on, but, I've been so interested in this, these different animal symbols. You hear a lot of people accusing people of being, bull worshippers or bull god lovers, stuff like that, and this is why I don't really make this kind of video generally, just because of all the idiots who just attack people who are interested in this stuff. But the mysteries are loaded with fascinating information, and it really gives you an understanding of how religions took form and where they got many of the ideas. It's not new to me. I just read this stuff over and over in different texts, different formats, and I figure I'd like to read that to give people an idea, because you hear a lot of people talk about these bulls and cats and stuff, and with kind of a reverence for them, but not really explaining exactly the details. And I think Manly Hall does a pretty good job at explaining the details. And that's really what we need to know if we're going to learn this kind of stuff. So, I say screw it. I'm willing to stick my neck out and, read a few of these chapters, because people are interested in it, and I'm interested in it, and I don't feel like people have enough freedom, like they don't feel like they can speak what they want to, because of all the massive resistance to occult knowledge, being satanic or evil. It's a bunch of nonsense, and so we just have to push aside the idiots and go along our way and learn what we want to learn, because there's a lot of angry people out there who resist any kind of knowledge, whatever it may be, and they're not going away. But so there's a little bit of that, and hope you're all having a good day. Maybe I'll make another one down the road. Peace.